I probably want to cap this though before it becomes active. Like, it's dormant at the minute for another 50 cycles, so I want to get that capped as well, I think. Oh god, I've got a really sore nose. I think I nicked it. I think I nicked it with the old trimmers. Right. So this is all off for now. There's no oxygen coming up here. I could start doing a bit more scanning. Jesus, that's a lot of regolith. Oh, it's solid up here. I kind of want to finish doing space. It's gonna cook this if I drop all this regolith down. Shit. Very end of your nose is sore today too. Maybe it's a nose epidemic. Maybe that's what it is. Is it related? I do all that out in the same full disclaimer. Someone may have died. Be careful. Yeah, kind of saw that coming. Go. I really wish I still had that mod on. I might see about toggling it back on, because removing the mods has made no difference to my performance. As long as you don't have errors off that mod, I'm tempted to put it back on, because that was very handy. He's in the rocket. Who's in the rocket? Nerd Rage. He's staying in there. We're filling it back up and sending him again. He's staying in there for now. He's fine. I'm not even repairing the gantry, we're just sending him again. He's not even getting out for a week. He's going straight back to space. The dead dude. There is no dead dude. Nobody's dead. What do you mean dead dude? Binary Blues. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Let's just schwep all this. I like that things have like a little steamy output now when they're all broken. But they think it. Who thinks it? Chat? Chat knows. Chat knows now. Only one person asked. A lot of steam in here. Soki, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. This is going to stay broken now, isn't it? I need to sweep all this quickly. $280. It's just going to break again. Oh, I don't want to. Because the problem I've got here now is because I filled this up with steam like an idiot. I can no longer get any oxygen here. I did like a temporary oxygen build, if you remember. I could pump the steam out. That's what we'll do. You have just become a space vent. For that is what you have become. Oh, does she fly off or do you restart? When you shoot your rocket, you mean? This happens. So we take the rocket, we show the star map. These are the earliest asteroids, right? There's all these other asteroids up here that we've not scanned yet. We don't know about these ones yet, but there's many different ones you can go to. These are the earliest ones. It doesn't really matter which one we go to. I just want to launch him again, get our research. So we send the rocket. The rocket goes for a little fly. And when he comes back, we'll get some science. And if you've got like cargo containers on there, sometimes when they come back, they'll bring you goodies as well. Sweet, sweet goodies from faraway lands. Right. Just so I can keep this going, I'm going to put like a reservoir in here, I think. I'd want a little feedback loop. It's probably going to get warm up here, isn't it? 58 degrees. Dumping loads more regolith in here at the minute. Should get it nice and steamy. What I might do as well is have this for filtration medium. Just regolith, no sand. Sand sweep only. We'll do that with a 7. That's fine. And then we'll bang a sweeper arm in here to keep it topped up. And we'll go break this. I'm going to let all this steam out, but whatever. It's not broke again. I'm not repairing it. I need to get rid of all this regolith. It's too hot. Look how hot it is. I'd need to put down some like temperature plates or something. I'll fix it in a minute, don't worry. I wanted to just be able to let my dupes get up here, and I knew I was going to take a hit, so... Although technically they can't hop over these, can they? Christ. We'll give them a little, give them a little hip hop over there. Why weren't they able to reach that? Why was that grayed out? They should be able to hop up there. Like, there. Yeah. There we go. That was grayed out a second ago. I didn't understand why. Okay then. So if I now put a little sweeper arm up here or something, I have to build them out of steel again, unfortunately. We did use a lot of steel last stream. Holy shit. You can go there. And then you can keep... wait, no. You can keep this topped up. There we go. Hello? Nice. Right then, so instead of doing this, because this allows it to sit in the pipes, what I want to do is have a little shut off down here. This could be turned back on in a bit to get us some oxygen for this thing. We're just going to focus on letting them do that first. So what I want is for you to like come straight down. Problem is this room's going to get overpressurized. Because this room's going to get overpressurized, what do I do with my excess steam? This room's at like, what, 50 kilos? So I can't use like a high pressure vent to dump it back in. I could just vent it, I suppose. I could just do that now without using the tank. Fuck it. We're going super simple, mega easy hyper build. Perfect. In fact, it doesn't even need to be high pressure. It could be just a basic bitch vent. What am I looking for? Ventilation. Alright then. That'll fix that. Cool, 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 cool. Barbecue. Delicious. Right, you're now pissing loads of regolith into this room. What we'll end up doing, all the regolith can just sit in here for now. We'll gather it up and we can leave it in there. And then... I won't allow manual use on that one, but I'll turn this one on and set it to like a 7. So they can come and collect all this stuff just manually, passively. And it can all be dumped into here, and then eventually, one day... as long as it doesn't overheat in the meantime, one day we'll feed this to our shovels. I think that will be a plan. There's so much regolith though. Jesus, we're going to need some serious sweep up operation. That reminds me. Using your packing farm, but fish don't eat from the feeder. Use blueprint from your save file. What can I do? Muratics, what it probably is, because somebody else had this same problem. Did you drop your packus in before your tank was filled of water? Because what you normally need to do is do a save and load once your tank is filled. You can also put a picture on Discord and then I can see exactly what you've got. But basically, if you have Pacu in a tank before it's filled, their pathfinding won't upgrade. So if you've got them sat in one tile of liquid and then gradually fill it whilst they're already in there, they'll still think they're in one tile of liquid until you do a save and load. So try that first, would be my suggestion. And then if that doesn't work, let me know. And I will have a look. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. DD, this is so I can decide what to do. No problem, let me know how you get on. Where's that? 40. So I want to start working on getting a path through here. Now some of this may get twatted in the meantime, but this is the plan. So this is our space gantry. We'll cover most of space for this. We'll leave some space for like some other rocket launch tubes and stuff, but for now I'll just get all this in. This is so we've got a nice little walkway, and we can also drop our regolith then without really worrying. We can work on the other bits that we're going to need later then. So what priority was that? Priority 7's fine. Nice. Okay, so that should all just top up for now, which is okay. I've got plenty of time to come back and do this. We'll worry about this when we've got like 20-30 cycles left or something, so that's alright. I would like to get rid of all this stink. There's a lot of stink up here. I don't like it. Too much stink. So we'll just whack in a load of these and let them do their thing. Because too much stink is not good for you. Fact. Actually, do this sort of somewhat of an order. So that would be the floor, wouldn't it? So 3 in between. Cool. I should really get my power source space, shouldn't I? Stop fanning about on manual gens, but... to be honest, it's only going to be the sweeper arm that's doing much of it for a while anyway. There we go. So now when we come to fill our rocket, it will just bypass once it's full and we can just piss out a bit of steam into space, which is fine. It means I don't have to mess about with this tank and stuff. I can't be bothered. For something that's going to be ultimately temporary, And we'll just keep launching Nerd. We'll just keep letting him go off and get us 70 research at a time, just whilst we get some other things sorted in the base. So that's fine. They've got some stuff to be cracking on with up here. They've got more of these bunker doors that we need to get in at the very far end. I could give them another access down here to speed things up. Probably would be smart. Havoc, how you doing, buddy? Hello, people and dupes. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't regard dupes as people? What's wrong? What's going on? Oh my god. Dupes are people too. Have some respect for the dupes. Exactly. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad we're on the same hymn sheet. Right, how are we doing in the base for gas? I've not been looking at the base at all. Got a little bit of natural gas backed up. It probably means we're not cooking as much anymore, but that's okay. We've got nearly 2 million calories. A lot of it is barbecue. Not as much stuffed berry as I would have expected. Where's all the stuffed berry at? That's weird. Wonder why they're not making stuffed berry anymore. It's in this one, isn't it? Are we not making gristleberries anymore? Where do we make gristleberries? In here? I thought we would have had plenty of stuff to keep going with these. Oh well. Right then, so one of the things I'm going to need to start thinking about is petroleum. Now this build down here is meant to be used for a petroleum boiler, but I'm going to need to supplement it in the meantime. I'm going to need some more petrol refineries or something, you know, oil refineries. Or to stop using the petrol, which I can't really do at the minute. We're not using masses at the minute because we've turned off quite a lot of our power, but not having natural gas has really cock-blocked us a little bit, truth be told. Right, let's sweep all this. Let's get these pipes in as well. So we're going to make some natural tiles. For those of you that might have missed us doing this... Oh, shit. For those of you that might have missed us doing this recently... what am I doing? Sweep commands. No, builder orders. We're going to make some natural tiles so that we can put some plants down here. So we don't have natural tiles in these spaces, so we need to make some. So I'm just going to make a bit of aluminium. We'll make like 20. Let them do that. All we're going to do is essentially pump some hot liquid behind some fertilizer. And that will let us... It'll basically make some dirt tiles. High voltage. Resub for 3 months. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you for the prime sub. Much appreciated. You ever build a boiler or tinker with heat? It would be cool to know if plants can be wild planted on sulfur or phosphorus. You can't make solid sulfur tiles as far as I'm aware. I don't think. Because sulfur is created from... Sulfur is created from the natural gas process, from sour gas condensing. But then it becomes a solid that essentially boils into gas. It doesn't change into a solid tile, I don't think. Why not refine the aluminium in your metal refineries? Because they're just set to fixed jobs. This one's going to do iron forever. This one is going to do steel forever, basically. We probably don't need to make an iron anymore, honestly. I might make them both steel. The problem we've got at the minute is I don't have much coal. Because I don't have much coal, I can't make refined carbon. Because I ain't got refined carbon, I can't make steel. What I might do is try and find our last bits of coal for now. Which really sucks. We're using so much coal and coal power because we've got no other power sources up yet. Kind of blows. Oh, Binary Blues, thank you very much for the prime sub as well. Much appreciated. Itchy. So yeah, we're still limping by on coal, because on this map, for some reason, I was royally cock-blocked and was not given any natural gas geysers, which kind of sucks, honestly. Not having natural gas as an extra source of power is really hurt us. I probably need twice as many hatch farms as what I've got at the minute, but I don't want to have that many hatch farms because I'm scared it'll lag me out. So, kind of sucks. Oh, this is coal. I did not realise. We'll get rid of this. We'll leave you. I think I was sort of in the midst of trying to rip this stuff out, wasn't I? But I've got this volcano here. Yeah, no natural gas is a real burden because it means that you use more of your other fuels. Now, we supplemented our coal with some lumber, so we've got lots and lots of lumber down here. But the problem with wood burners is they don't give you all that much power, that much oomph. So it's a bit of a tricky one, honestly. It's one of the reasons why I want to get into space, so I can get some thermium to make a petroleum boiler, to make a sour gas boiler, an oil cooker, whatever you want to call it. Just so little coal. So little coal. I think I've literally just put these in, but oh well. We're getting rid of them. I have to hop down here and get this. These are all like high priority digs, by the way, because I just want to get over here and get some supplies. And get cracking again. Supplies. Have excess water electrolyzers for the hydrogen and dump the oxygen into space. Might be a solution. That might not be a bad shout. Arnie in grayscale looks kind of cool, doesn't it? That look pretty. Anyway. Mass farm long hair boys. How are you today, Wachunga? Did you get your sour gas boiler working? I made some little ones, by the way. My game was lagging a little bit, but I did make some little ones. I don't know if I left any of them in a workable state to show anyone, but I'll do some tweaking before I show them, I think. Getting screwed for no natural gas really does screw you a bit until you can get solar up. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is not having the natural gas means that we are just struggling for power infrastructure in general. Like I'm going to be expected to get all these doors and stuff opened, and I'm going to have to get the solar bank in, but charge up the batteries manually in order to have enough power to open and shut the doors for the first few times until the solar's online. It's going to be a pain in the ass. I've been taking it straight from crew, but it makes me angry with the semi-random pipe breaking. The direction, the orientation that you lay your pipes makes a huge difference. There's weird calculations going on the game. Like I observed it in yours, and then I tinkered with it myself. Pipes going from left to right versus right to left work in a different way when interacting with gas tiles. I had the same sort of shit myself, man. I'll do a little save whilst it's night time. I'll show you what I've been dicking about with. A couple of these builds might be broken because it got kind of late and I was tinkering and waiting for videos to upload to YouTube and stuff, so some of these might be a bit broken. I'll show you Wachunga's first, if you don't mind, buddy. I think you'll be okay with it. Let me know if you mind. I'll show you Wachunga's mega boiler. This is a big boy. It's a hungry boy, but it produces a lot. So this is way bigger than I would normally build, but it's a debug build. It's a proof of concept build, you know. He's a big fella. The Mega SG version 2. And this saves on Discord, by the way, guys. If any of you want to have a nosy, here's a link to the Discord, which Unga's very kindly provided his save. Yeah, I was working on like 1 kilo per second mini boys using a single aqua tuner. Wow, showing Wachunga's Mega Boy without checking first. Me and Wachunga go through this all the time. It's fine. And I'm proud to show the people's work. I like it. Yeah, I've been working on a single aqua tuner build. One of which is making natural gas the normal way. The other way is solidifying the natural gas and boiling it off. Neither of which I'm happy with. But I've done like a 1 kilo build on both of them. They're just not very good. He knows I'm proud of my Mega Boy. These load times, though. Should have come to my menu first. Those load times, though. Come on, game. Okay. So this is Wachunga's Mega Boy. And what it basically consists of, just as a quick explanation, you've got some steam turbines at the top that are circulating their water behind themselves just to cool themselves. And then behind them there's a very clever little band of steam piping, which is basically regulating the temperature for the aqua tuners down here. So there's a little shut off here that will, if this is above 700 degrees, will move the steam from this room to down there. Alright, so that's how you cool down the aqua tuners and the turbines. And then you just got a little steam room where it dumps its water out. And then we've got some aqua tuners here that are circulating their water down to a cooling block down here, or their super coolant to a cooling block. Full disclosure, there is a lot of space materials in this. So those of you that are thermium avoiders, you're going to struggle with a build like this. But anyway, it's a very cool build. And it's very mesmerising when it's up and running. But this supercoolant basically comes into this bank of metal here, which is regulated with a tepidizer to stop it from going too cold. So that's what this sensor's for. If it goes too cold and the system shuts down, this tepidizer can toggle on and warm it back up a bit, just to keep the aqua tuners running. And then this door here connects the temperature between these two walls. That basically is where the cooling plate is. This is where the sour gas is going to get condensed. Alright. So, if I remember rightly, to get this going, we just need to do that. Oh, and I'll need to do that. There we go. So, I'll show you the heat overlay first so you can see what's going on. How much is thermal conductivity of thermium compared to aluminium? Aluminium is very strong. Aluminium temp shift plates and aluminium metal tiles are incredible. So, aluminium metal tile thermal conductivity 205, 220 I think for a 205 for a temp shift plate as well. Thermium is 220. So, aluminium is very, very strong. Up here, by the way, I'll go through it whilst the thermal overlay's on. As you can see, we've got Wachunga's done this with petroleum that's at like 99.8 degrees. This does make it a little bit easier, has to be said, because when you're working with crude oil, you've got to deal with an additional state change in the process, and bringing crude oil through your, well, when you're trying to warm your crude oil up before it gets to your boiler, it's a nightmare in pipes, because if you even breach that 400 degree mark, it'll boil and break your pipes. It's a lot easier if you can make it into petroleum first, you know, with refineries or something, or a petroleum boiler. That way you don't have to deal with that additional state change, and it makes this way more efficient. Petroleum obviously can go up to 540 degrees without boiling in your pipes, which is much, much, much good. Bridges can be made with steel to survive. Bridges can be made with steel to survive. This is a good thing. This is for temperature transference. You can also use heavy joint plates, by the way, conductive heavy joint plates. These boys, and you can make these out of refined metals. These are brilliant for transferring temperature. I've been using these in some of my builds instead of this sort of thing. But what basically this is to transport the temperature from the sour gas into the methane, and vice versa. So it's helping to cool the sour gas. It's also warming up the methane a little bit, or warming up the natural gas before it gets to the pumps. But anyway, what you'll see now is the petroleum's going to come up here. It's going to hit these bridges, and it's going to hit this valve, which is set to, I think, 5 kilos. Wait, 5 kilos per valve. And then it's going to circulate to make sure that only 5 kilos is sent through. So petroleum's going to go up here. It's going to hit this valve. There we go. And then what's happening here, or you won't really see it just yet, but we need to pay attention to the temperature of this petroleum. Now, at the minute the build is empty, but as soon as there's some liquid in here, this door will shut and the temperature is going to start transferring from here to there. Alright. And then very quickly we'll get an eruption of sour gas. $520, and at about 541 it'll erupt. There we go. So now we've got our sour gas in the room. Sour gas is going to be like super hot to begin with, so what we're going to do is just pay attention to this first hit of petroleum that comes in here now, because now that these sensors are toggled off, more liquid's going to come in. Alright, so if we look, our petroleum's coming in at what, 99, 87 degrees now. It's going to go, well, we need a bit more gas in here first. Oh. So now it's at 482 once it's reached this point, versus 479 on this side. As I say, if this was with crude oil, that would have exploded in a misery pool of broken pipes. All you basically need to do is make sure you shorten your warming up thing, you know, your warm up part of the pipe. But then what's basically going to happen down here is the sour gas is going to start hitting this plate and hitting these exchanges here basically, and then you're going to get liquid methane. Liquid methane then needs to be boiled, so to do that Wachunga's got a little pump here that will collect the methane once it gets above 50 kilos and drop it here. This temp shift plate exchanges the heat here with this sour gas coming down, so again you're getting more cooling out of your sour gas, and that will then boil it off. And then you end up with a lovely little pool coming up here. There you go. And now all the pumps can start pumping it. Now to begin with, their throughput's really shit, but once this gets online and starts running a little bit, I think mine went up to about 70 kilos of natural gas here and then sort of evened out, and that was the pumps all working at sort of full throughput. I think it's about 69, 70 kilos. But it's quite mesmerising to look. It's like a mushroom cloud of sweet, sweet power. Now, as I say, in here there is a sensor so that when your thermoaccutuners get too hot, this little band of pipe will shift. It's a really, really nice build. It's a nice proof of concept build. This would be an absolute fucking nightmare to build in a survival game, but they normally are. These big boy high throughput builds normally are a nightmare. But yeah, it's generating a reasonable amount of natural gas, has to be said. It's pretty solid. It is. It's beautiful. It's very pretty. So, that's Wachunga's massive bastard, and it is lovely. I don't do builds like this because I don't find them practical in a survival game, right? That's me personally. And Wachunga knows this. We talked about this before. Building something like that in survival is tricky. But I like building smaller ones. I've just not got one I'm happy with yet. So I'm going to have to do a lot of tinkering. Anarchy, how's it going? So this is the baby boiler. Now I don't know if this is currently working at the minute. It might be a little bit balked. But what we basically have is the same feed as Wachunga, because I shamelessly stole this because it works so nicely. And we are feeding in basically to a little room here. We've got a similar setup with an aqua tuner, although I don't have any heat transference between. We just run this as much as we can. The problem is when you're only running with one aqua tuner, technically the most you should really be able to get is like 0.8 kilos or something. So it's a bit tricky. But this was like the first iteration. This is version 1. And basically again, the liquid is dumped in here, gets boiled off into sour gas, and then is condensed down here. So this is Babby Boiler. Now I used a couple of different things in this. Again, same principle, but with bridges. Bridges with wolframite pipes will give you a reasonable amount of conductivity when you're working with a smaller build. You don't want it to be too hot, because then you end up just cooking things. But what I'm also doing here is collecting my sulfur. And my sulfur's being collected, run down the back, and dropped onto these tiles, and that's what's used to boil off the methane, so that our pumps can pump it away. So that's that basically. That is a babby boiler. Gives us about 0.9-ish kilograms a second, which is enough to run like what, 10 natural gas gens. This is a babby boy. It's only a little babby boy. I want to see what the most I can get with a single aqua tuner is. But then it got me thinking. What about something that looks very different? You're putting in 10 kilos of petroleum and your pumps can handle 14 kilos. That's not what it's about though, Jack. You want to get that gas moved as soon as you can. You want to keep the pressure nice and low. So then this was iteration number 2. Similar setup, but with different piping. And a different mindset. This one I ended up doing about 0.8 kilos a second, which is not good. I was going backwards. But it's pretty. It's very pretty. I liked it. So with this one, the idea was to dump the liquid methane in the separate room and then have some heat exchangers through here. But in practice, it just didn't work properly. There was no way of really limiting it in the space that I'd built. So I aborted this build. This one was aborted. These sour gas doohickeys are power positive. Massively power positive. Massively. I really like the aesthetics of this one, but I didn't leave myself enough room. And I went off and then did some tweaking. And this is where I'm at the minute. And I think this has potential, but I need some more time to do some refinements. So, full disclosure, I haven't seen anyone else do it like this yet. People may have done it like this because I'm a little bit out of the loop, but I haven't seen anyone else do it like this yet. So you saw it here first. But originally, when we first used to do sour gas boilers back in the day, solid methane didn't boil off. It was a nuisance product that wouldn't boil off. Well, now it does. So what we have here is a little build. It might be broken at the minute because I was doing some last minute tinkerings. We have a build that's basically creating solid methane. Instead of worrying about the liquid methane, it just creates solid. Alright? So the solid methane is then collected up with sweepers and dropped onto these tiles, which is then interacting with the sour gas that's coming in. Now again, this may be broken. Yeah, by the fact that I've got some diamond tiles in there, it might be a bit broken at the minute. But the idea is to have these tiles interacting with the gas and keep the gas warmer. And then up here we've got an additional band of piping that's coming from our aqua tuner to keep our aqua tuner running longer. Alright? So this one is solidifying the methane, which then warms up and explodes into a cloud of gas. Solid methane. Kinda cool. But yeah. Where did those diamond tiles come from? We're in debug. We're in debug modeling. These are like test builds. Looking at your dedication, I'm having doubt on my chemical engineering degree. Jesus. Well, these do actually generate a lot of natural gas. More than I thought it was going to. I put in 6 pumps. I put in 6 pumps to air to the side of caution, and it's generating way more than I thought. But this does need some additional cooling. So these diamond tiles are basically signifying somewhere else outside the base that you'd need to cool. So this additional cooling loop here, try not to look at the piping. This additional cooling loop here is signifying some external cooling. This you know, piece of diamond here, maybe you're cooling down a petroleum generator or an ethanol distiller. But as you can see, the methane's now melted and it's now bubbled off. There you go. So we're basically transferring a lot of the heat into our gas before it goes into the base, into the build. So there you go. that's what I'm tinkering with. I will let you know once I've finished out a build. As you can see, we've got the same sort of pipe and loop here, shamelessly stolen from Wachunga. We did used to use a loop like this in the past just to equalise temperature, but I'd never done it with the shut-off to only toggle it when needed, and it's so smart, it just makes sense. So, it's a really nice way of regulating the new steam turbine, or using the new steam turbine really to keep your aquatuner going. But that's what I'm up to, Wachunga. I said I'd do a little boy. I did this whilst lagging as well the other night before I got my fixes sorted, so it's as good as I could do. Crude to petrol step seems pretty important to avoid you sitting at the oil refinery all day. Well, no, you'd just make a petroleum boiler. You'd have a machine that does your petroleum for you. You wouldn't use the oil refinery because ultimately it loses half its mass. Whereas if you boil crude oil, you keep the whole mass. So, you like the new design ideas. Are you sure? Because this one is a fucking pain in the ass. This does not like to interact with tiles very quickly. Not at all. I'm going to keep working with this one, we'll tweak it, but it gets a reasonable amount of gas anyway. So yeah, this is tinkerings. This is what I do when I'm trying to figure out builds for YouTube and for stream and stuff. I like aesthetically pleasing builds. This one reminds me of something like what's the emblem? Reminds me of something like this. Like a crown. Do you know what I mean? Reminds me of something like that. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know. It's not a butt plug. It's not a butt plug. Jerks. Jerks always coming at me with your butt plugs. Looks like a perfume bottle. Ah, I like that. Well, now that I've shown this on stream, people will no doubt flood the forums with them over the next few days, so prepare yourselves. But I like the idea of making it solid first. Making it solid, then you don't need to worry about it boiling off, so you can cool it further. It gets like -205 or something, cool it to solid, pump it into a room, let it boil off in a cloud of gas. I like that idea. Oh shit, never loaded that quitting the game entirely. Shit. We're at 7 gigs of memory now. Alright, we'll jump back in. Alright, I'm coming. We'll do a fresh restart before we get back into this, and then hopefully I won't need to load for a while. Because, again, this is not nice. Not ideal. Oh, fuck. Really sore nose. Really sore. So yeah, that was mostly what I was tinkering with yesterday whilst trying to sort some bits out. I may have another play tonight, see if I can get it ready for tomorrow. Things I've noticed, you always make things perfectly symmetrical. Is there any reason for that? Aesthetics. Aesthetics matter, Anarchy. I can't stand... Me personally, it makes me vomit in my throat when you see people that have done builds that are all like fucking all over the place. I can't tolerate it. It doesn't work for me. It's not pleasing for me to look at, so I can't have it in my bases. So if something's not pretty in my base, I don't build it. For the most part. If something's temporary, trademark, then it's fine. But when it's a permanent fixture, like a boiler or something you're going to rely on for, you know, arguably your whole playthrough, I like them to be nice. I like them to be proper. Yeah, 4 gigs of RAM now. Okay. Anywho. Right, so the place is a bit of a shit show at the minute. Things are overheating, everything's broken. Everything is broken. It's too hot up here. That's partly down to the fact that I've got all this regolith on the top here, the hydrogen's conducting the temperature down here, and it's just baking the room. So we're going to need to do some big clear outs and get this sorted, basically. So with that in mind, a lot of this needs to be turned off immediately, I think. So what I might do, we'll just let this run. We're going to have all sorts of problems here, but we'll just let this run to clear this pipe out. And this is going to keep boiling off and boiling off. How much is your RAM? I've got 32 gigs. Currently the game's at 4.2 gigs now. I don't want to look at the base yet, so I just want to get this room fixed up here. Alright, let's turn this prick on. This is going to be pumping steam out, and we'll just pump it out into space. Right, we're going to have to... oh, you stuck. Rockman, what's going on? You have a means to return home. You're choosing not to do it. I can't help you. So yeah, what I'd like to do is get all this gubbins collected. What I might just quickly do is get all this debris away from here and free up this build. Where can I put some stuff? That's definitely going to get toasted by the engine, but that's fine. How to transport steam without breaking the gas pipe? Boil it a lot further than you need to. Don't transport it at like 100 degrees. Boil it way more than that. Cook it up way more. Shit. Just gonna keep breaking. If we can just get this water out of here, I'll be laughing. I might just dump all this in here. Yeah, I put that on the forums for petrol. I put that on the forums, and hopefully, as I say, there is a thread where they've sort of acknowledged some of these things. But yeah, we're gonna keep sending nerd. We'll have to see if we get any updates. How can I get this bastard online without how can I cool him down? Only need 5 kilograms of niobium. I know. It's just getting the stuff. We don't have any on our starter asteroids, so we might be shit out of luck, unfortunately. Is that a bug? No, they left the recipe in the game. I'm assuming it's intended. I'm assuming that's how they want it to be. Do we ever really know anymore if something's a bug or not? Really? There's no way of knowing. There's no real way of knowing. Intended gameplay, feature, or bug. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh shit. Let's just flood this bastard. Get these repaired, dump this water, and away we go. Too much steam. Boys. This is an 8. This is a 9. Go, go, go. A bug is never a bug unless hot fixed at a later date, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I've got something tickling and irritating my nose. Oh, come on, squad. You'll be alright. Get out of there. Come on, right, man. You can do it. You have no need to starve. You'll be fine. Killer dreams will get you. You have a little snooze. Alright, I want to get rid of all this crap and get this room sorted. We'll make like a little area up here to come up. But we'll build it once we've got rid of all this debris, I think. Shit, I'm currently pissing steam into space. But I just want to get this online and we can do a bit of quick scanning. That would be nice. Come on, empty the pipe. You can do it. I do like these little steamy blow-up effects that you get now. They weren't in last time I played. I like that a lot. What is eating all my power here? Like, is it just these pumps? And this sweeper? Oh, there's 3 pumps running, that's why. What kind of asteroid are you hoping for? What kind would be a dream find for the current moment? Niobium. Niobium in big amounts, that would be nice. I'll take that. Niobium. Alright. Let's get this boy done. Oh, by the way, my star map's still fucked. I don't know if any of you guys get the same thing. Can you see this? What's happening? If I click this little shred over here, it's actually this boy. And this boy is the same. Do any of you get this? Am I the only person that gets this bug? This is a fresh reinstall now. I didn't think I'd still have this problem. It's kind of weird. I don't know if we've found any already, actually. Oh, we'll have to go to them first, won't we, probably? That seems like an optimal stabilized space program setup. What resolution do you have? Well, that was what I meant to ask earlier. Is the game running smoothly tonight, guys? The reason I ask is... I upped... Oh, it's defaulted back. Wait, hold on a sec. That's not right. I use borderless gaming, so it kind of screws things up a little bit. But yeah, 1080, 60. I can go faster. I can go like 144, but then I think my capture card buggers up if I do that. It's a super bug that persists to reinstall. Fucking joke. Absolute joke. I've had it in every one of my space playthroughs ever. Every single one. I've never had a nice laid out star map. It's always broken. Have submitted bug reports. Never get any answer. Just sucks. Fix this. I need to get this wetter out of here. Check star map now. It'll be exactly the same, mate. Exactly the same. It's nothing to do with resolution. I've had it a long time, Jack. It just sucks. Every single space playthrough we've ever done, ever since space came into the game, we've had it. It really blows. Recommended rig requirements are... What are they, Cryptic? It can't be graphics card, because there's nothing used by the fucking graphics card. It's all CPU. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, the water's out. Star map issue has been around for a long time. Yeah. It sucks. Right, so we'll try and get rid of some of this gas and steam and stuff that's in here. We'll just piss it away. I don't need it. It's fine. And we'll get Nerd on his journey again in a minute. And we'll scan this random boy whilst we can. Alright, so it's going to be a bit of a mess up here for a bit, but there's very little I can do about it, so we've done a bit more digging and tidied out some of this crap. You probably could run it on that cryptic. You probably could. That's the thing, like... There's a thread about this at the moment on the forums. I'll give you a link to it. Where is it? Performance by Celereth. Performance of the game post-launch is terrible. There's a lot of information in there, though. There you go. A lot of information in there about problems that other people have been having as well. Yeah. We're not alone. We're all in the same boat. We're all having performance trouble since this update. But arguably, it's nothing to do with... it's very much to do with your CPU. If you've got a big, powerful, single-core CPU, like an Intel, you're going to be in a better state than someone like myself who's got an AMD card that's less powerful, single-core. Because the game is only optimized to use, I think, at most 2 cores at the minute, or 2 threads, rather. It's feck all to do with graphics card, really. Your graphics card plays a very small part. Very small part. It will have an effect, but very, very minor. It's mostly down to CPU. But saying that, even that caps out. Temperatures are all fine, Bobek. Temperatures are fine. It's the game, it's not my rig, unfortunately. I did all my troubleshooting yesterday. It is a dopey game. But hey ho, it is what it is, what it is. I'm going to rip out all this crap up here as well. We're going to get up here and rip this stuff out. And... yeah, let's get this steel back and stuff that's up here. I can actually deconstruct all this stuff, can I? Because I've not got my fucking mod on. I might go and put that on. Thunder, how are you, buddy? Boop, 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 boop. How you doing, buddy? I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to try putting a few mods on. If we start getting crashes, I'll remove them. But I want to get rid of this crap. I hate this building up here. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Won't be a sec. You have some weird bug with unreachable food even when it's on the tile next to them. Every dupe's starved, even on save reload. Weird. And you've got it assigned in the consumables properly. Right, let's try. I want this one and I want this one, and the rest I can live without. Restart. It's only officially out now. Yeah, it's launched, mate. Launched. This boy down here means it's launched. This is a finished game. It is finished. As the gods intended, it's perfect. Can actually force graphics card to work on game, but CPU matters a lot. What do you mean, Anarchy? What do you mean, buddy? I mean, I've got a 2700X, Ryzen 7 2700X. It's a beastly chip. It should be enough for running Oni, but the game's not using any of its cores. So right now my CPU is at 10%. Thunder, 8 months. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for the bitties as well, mate. Always appreciated. Let's see how we get on here. Hello, game. There we go. Lovely. Now what that should allow me to do, now that we have the old build without materials mod, we can... ah shit, I've got some aluminium now. Let me go spend my aluminium at the bottom. I was meant to be putting in some pipe, wasn't I? Down here. What I can do is make it so that they constantly mine out space. Aluminium. Boop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 400 kilos left. Perfect. Just get that built. I can rip that out afterwards. I mean, you can force your GPU to run the game. You did it, but it does not improve. How would you do that? I don't think you can. Unless you're a very smart boy that's learnt to hack the mainframe. I don't know what you mean. It's I think it's more down to its thread optimization than anything else, isn't it? So it's only doing processes on one thread at a time, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware. Still suffer the same problem because the code is on targeting one core. Yeah, I would have thought the same. I want to deal with this dirty petroleum. Oh. Yeah. I think Klei have learned a lesson, or we'll make another game with Unity. I don't know. I don't know. There we go. Let's see here. Unreachable food, that's never good. Rockman again. God damn it, sir. Get out of there, it's not safe. Uh-oh. That's never good. Everyone you've talked to or read about with the star pitches run above 1920 1080. I'm not. I ain't. My monitor can go bigger than that, but I make sure it doesn't because it bugs up my capture card for streaming